Today, I'll be reacting to the best Larry Bird versus Michael Jordan story ever told. Michael Jordan and Larry Bird are two of the greatest players in NBA history, so let's check out the video. This should be interesting.
NBA Hall of Famer James Worthy, who played against both Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, said, "I'd much rather play against Michael Jordan than Larry Bird. Jordan made you look slow, but Bird made you look stupid. Look, I'm not here to convince you that Larry Bird is better than Michael Jordan. I'll just present to you the facts and let the NBA legends who actually played against both of them tell you what they think."
People always ask me who's the hardest player I've ever had to guard. And there was Michael Jordan, George Gervin, the late, great Mike Mitchell. I mean, so many players. I always say Larry Bird. And I say this for the reason because when Michael passed the basketball, he kind of hung on his shorts and he sit off to the side. With Larry, when he passed the basketball is when he became more dangerous. He was either setting a pick, coming off a pick, catching the ball, passing the ball. So he was the one you always had to stay attentive to the whole 24 seconds of that offensive play for the Celtics. And you know what? Oh, he's going to get an offensive rebound. He was going to do something to help his team have the best chance of scoring at that point. So I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained
So Michael Cooper, shout out to Michael Cooper, he said Larry Bird is harder to guard than Michael Jordan, basically because he said it sounded like Larry Bird moved way more than Michael Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan is hard to guard one-on-one, but basically he's saying when Michael Jordan gave the ball up, he didn't move as much. But as in Larry Bird, he's moving the ball. Also, he tried to go get the rebound. Also, Larry Bird's like a better passer. Also, he probably be moving, trying to cut, trying to create shots. Basically, he's saying Larry Bird moves more than Michael Jordan, pretty much. A player like that is way harder to guard than somebody that just scored and just stand. Like, for example, like players now, I know like players like Kevin Durant, LeBron. I would hate guarding Stephen Curry. I would hate guarding Stephen Curry. Players that move 24/7 without stopping, I can't stand guarding them. Man, those are the hardest players to guard. So I understand Michael Cooper and him saying that.
Points I always say as him, he didn't need the basketball to affect the game.
To the untrained eye, Michael Jordan was light years better than Larry Bird, simply because his scoring numbers were better.
I do think Michael Jordan better than Larry Bird, though. I do think that.
But in actuality, it was much closer than that because Bird affected the game in so many ways.
I saw Larry Bird one night in Phoenix. They were losing big time at the half. And they come out in the third quarter, and Larry did not take a shot, but dominated the game. He had 7 assists in the third quarter, and they came back and won the game. He could affect the game without taking a shot. Who else can you say that about to that degree? Nobody. Michael could never do that. Never. Michael had to have the ball.
Here's a 1986 magazine on the NBA. And remember, this is a league with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas, Hakeem Olajuwon, Moses Malone, and Dr. J. And in a league with all of these all-time great players, everyone agreed that Larry Bird was the best because in 1980,
Larry Bird at that time, I agree, probably was probably the best all-around player. Like, in my opinion, I think Magic better than Larry Bird, but I understand people saying Larry Bird better than Magic. I completely understand. Like, for example, like LeBron could do everything. Now, I think LeBron better than Larry Bird. I think LeBron is the GOAT. I think Larry Bird's 6 all time. But both of them is very familiar. It's just LeBron. I'll say Larry Bird's a better shooter than LeBron, but LeBron is way more athletic, and I'll say he's a better defender. Both of them can score at a high rate. LeBron and Larry Bird, good rebounders. Both can pass. Larry Bird was a better shooter, but LeBron is a very good scorer. LeBron is an all-time leading scorer in NBA history in points. Larry Bird could score. Larry Bird is just a better shooter than LeBron, but both of them affected the game through everything. Offense, defense, passing, just everything. So yeah, them saying like at that time in that era that he was the best all-around player, yeah, I'm not mad at that.
1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry
Let me go back a little bit.
agreed that Larry Bird was the best because in 1984, 1985, and 1986, Larry Bird won MVP back to back to back. And in the 1986 playoffs, Larry Bird finally faced Michael Jordan head to head. And in game 1, Michael dropped a spectacular 49 points. But Larry Bird had an all-around game with 30 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals to lead the Celtics to a victory. By game 2, MJ had a revelation.
And this is game 2 of the best-of-5 first-round action, and the Celtics will try to make it 2 in a row over the Bulls.
We really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
But he sure did try, because Jordan turned on God mode and broke the record for the most points ever scored in a playoff game.
Lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but
I had to pause. I had to pause that to get the reaction. Was it him? Come here. Oh, nah. Hey. I think LeBron the GOAT, but Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer ever. Oh my goodness, he killed Larry on that. He destroyed Larry on that. Hey, that man Michael was different. Now, at that time, like I said, I think Michael Jordan individually as a basketball player is better than Larry Bird. At that time, of course, the Boston Celtics was better than Chicago Bulls. Jordan didn't have like the championship squad yet. He was coming into the league. He'd been in the league for a few years, or he was a rookie at this time. It was something like that. But he was in the league for a few years. He didn't have a great team yet, a championship squad. So he was just trying to prove that he could hoop. But man, yeah, he got Larry on that. Wait, I gotta go back. That was nice.
Scored in the playoff game.
lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics Thursday. Jordan trying to fake Bird, can't do it. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan.
I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Jordan hits it, 56 for Jordan, and that ties the Chicago Bulls all-time leader. Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after. That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
But Larry Bird left with the most important statistic of all, the W.
10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll parry. Victory.
You see, Larry Bird passed the ball to Robert Parrish in the clutch, and Robert Parrish made the shot. You have to trust your teammates. Yes, like I said, Michael Jordan was individually a better player, but that Boston Celtics team, they was nice. They was by far the better team. Michael Jordan was losing that series. It didn't matter how many points he scored. It didn't matter. But man, he was hooping on them though.
Victory for the Boston Celtics to take a 2-0 lead over Chicago in their best of 5.
Michael Jordan didn't beat Larry Bird. You showed Michael Jordan going between his legs one time in the highlights, against Larry Bird. And that was the game he got 63.
That's when he dropped 63 on Bird. Yes.
But if memory serves me correct, they got swept. No, not lost. They got swept. Okay.
That's true.
Larry Bird went on to win his 3rd championship that year. And the following year, when Larry faced MJ in the playoffs, it happened again.
Inside, Larry Bird against Banks, rubs him around a Perry screen, drives it down the lane, and lays it in with a right hand. Michael Jordan with 30 points in this game, so he was 30 or better in all 3 playoff games.
Hey, okay. Like I said, Larry Bird teams, they were the better squad. But Michael Jordan was better than Larry Bird, though. Like, I think Michael Jordan is better than Larry Bird. Yes, head-to-head, Larry Bird did destroy him, team-wise. But Michael Jordan is better than Larry Bird. That's my opinion, though. That's my opinion.
Bird's got 31 in the game and 14 in the 4th quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter. It's been Bird, and,
Dang, wait, is that
and that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium.
Hold up, my fault. Hold on. Dang. Hold up.
Fourth quarter. Bullseye. Boston has kept it in good hands in the fourth quarter. It's been Bird, and that's about it. Final score in Chicago Stadium. The Boston Celtics sweep the Bulls out 105-94. Too much Celtic talent, too much Celtic experience for a Bulls team lacking in both areas.
Yes, Larry Bird in back-to-back years swept Michael Jordan in the playoffs. So if Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird, then what does that make Larry Bird?
Bro, basketball is a team sport, bro. Basketball is a team sport, man. Come on. Basketball is a team sport. Head to head, yes, Larry Bird did beat Michael Jordan, but come on. The Celtics team was way better than those Bulls teams Michael Jordan early in his career. Come on. Basketball is a team sport. Come on.
Now, to be fair, at that point, Michael Jordan didn't have his best teammate ever, Scottie Pippen, yet. Mm-hmm. When Scottie Pippen arrived, the battles were closer and more intense. And later in the video, I'll let you see exactly what happened when Larry Bird faced a prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Because Larry Bird did something so miraculously impressive, no other man in the history of basketball can say they've done. But after Bird swept Jordan back-to-back years in the playoffs, that very next year in 1988, Michael Jordan had statistically the best season ever, where he won the scoring title at 35 points per game, the steals title, the MVP, the defensive player of the year, the All-Star Game MVP, and the dunk contest.
Nah, that's wild. No, yeah, that's the greatest season ever right there. That's the greatest season. That is crazy. MVP, defensive player of the year, and the scoring title, and the steals title. Nah, that's crazy. No, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. No, Michael Jordan crazy for that. He crazy for that.
He faced Larry Bird 4 times that year, and this is how it went. Game 1, tough battle, Bird wins. Game 2, MJ has a historic 50-point game to win by 10. Game 3, Larry's revenge. After that previous loss, I'm sure Larry Bird had that rematch circled on his calendar, because he ended up with 33, 8, and 7 and blew MJ out by 30 points. Game 4, MJ had an impressive performance with 39 points and 8 assists, but Larry Legend had 44 points and 10 rebounds, but most importantly, a win versus Michael Jordan in his statistically best season ever. And though Michael Jordan didn't face Bird again that year in the playoffs, Jordan did face Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. And I'll let Isaiah Thomas tell you exactly how he recalls that year and the rest of the 80s.
So Michael Jordan in the 80s, the best year that he had was he was the MVP of the league and the defensive player of the year. I believe that was in 88.
Yes.
We
88.
beat them 4-1. I'm going to say that again. 4-1. They won one
May I
game.
respond?
And he never beat Larry Bird. He never beat Magic and Kareem. He never won. And all I'm saying is in the 80s, what I remember in the 80s, it was Philadelphia with Dr. J, Magic, Kareem, Bird, Michael Jordan. He was a non-factor.
Okay. I'll give him that. No, Michael Jordan in the 80s didn't do nothing, but he still was hooping though. Like Michael Jordan, his teams, like when he first got started, it's kind of like similar to LeBron. When he first, like his first stint in Cleveland, like first 7 years. Well, Michael Jordan, he never made the finals, but at least LeBron in his first stint with Cleveland, he made the finals. But I'm saying it's still kind of the same though. Yeah, but it's similar like how Michael Jordan and LeBron's, like they have like them teams they struggled with, but Michael Jordan, he struggled with like Larry Bird, the Celtics. LeBron, he struggled with the Celtics too, but that's when he had KG. Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Rondo, Tony Allen, all of them. So yeah, it's kind of similar. But yeah, 90s though, that was MJ time. 80s, he didn't do nothing though. That's tough though. After you got over Larry Bird, you gotta face IT. You gotta face Zeke. That's tough. That's tough.
Non-factor.
Let me go back.
He was a non-factor.
A non-factor. Is this your GOAT?
He's not my GOAT. LeBron my GOAT, but Michael Jordan is definitely number 2 though. He's definitely number 2.
But after Isaiah Thomas swept MJ, he did go on to beat Larry Bird in 6 games. And many people touted the Detroit defense for holding Larry Bird to under 20 points per game. But what many don't include in that story is that Larry Bird was noticeably injured with painful bone spurs in both feet. So only because of injuries, for the first time in 5 seasons, Larry Bird would not make the NBA Finals.
Hey, yes, he was injured, but he was on the court playing. I'm counting that. I'm counting that. They clamped him up. Yes, he probably had bone spurs, but they clamped him up. Like, come on. That's my philosophy. That's my mindset and my philosophy. If you're on the court hooping, you ain't hurt. I'm just like, from a competitive standpoint, I don't care. I don't care if you're playing out there with a torn ACL and somehow miraculously you just end up playing on it. I'm still guarding you the same. If I clamped you up, I clamped you up. I'm betting not hear, oh, well, I messed up my knee, I messed up my ankle. Bet not hear that. I clamped you up.
Starting the following year, Larry Bird had season-ending surgery on both feet after playing only 6 games. But sadly, it only got worse, because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back and was never the same again.
Dang, wait, let's look at that fall again. Oh my goodness. Man.
Only got worse, because that following offseason, Larry Bird broke his back.
Oh my goodness.
And was never the same again. But even as Larry Bird's entire body betrayed him, for some reason, he always played well against Michael Jordan. Almost like he had a personal vendetta against Jordan. And I think I know why. When Michael Jordan was in college, he actually played an exhibition game against Larry Bird. Jordan and a bunch of college players, while preparing for the 1984 Olympics, faced Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA stars. The goal was to toughen the college kids up before they headed to the Olympics. So during pre-game warm-ups, when Jordan chased the loose ball to the other end of the court, Larry Bird picked the ball up. But instead of handing it to Jordan, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head to the opposite end of the court. And I guess you could say Michael Jordan took that personally.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You going to do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan.
MJ really took that personal. No, I ain't gonna play though. I'm on your head too. I'm getting a loose ball. You gonna kick it over my head? Oh yeah, I'm taking that personal too. I'm on your head the whole game. I ain't playing. I'm gonna get 50.
Jordan dominated.
And it became personal with me.
Michael Jordan dominated that game. A young Michael Jordan actually carried a team full of college players past a prime Larry Bird and a bunch of NBA players. Michael Jordan won the battle, but Larry Bird won the war. I think Larry Bird took that loss personally, because Jordan never really got the best of Larry Bird ever again. When Larry Bird finally returned to the court after missing basically an entire season with foot surgery and a back injury, he faced prime Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in a regular season game. The teams went back and forth.
Bagley against Paxson, 10 on the shot clock. Jordan on Bird. Quick feed into Jim Paxson for the layup. Larry Bird has KO the read. Jordan steal. Scottie Pippen ahead to Jordan. Michael for the dunk. Bird against Pippen. Bird working on Pippen one-on-one. Hits the fadeaway.
And with 10 seconds to go, it was a tie game. The Celtics had the ball, and the Bulls put their two best defenders, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, both on Larry Bird because everyone knows who the ball is going to. And then this happened.
Let's see if they wind it all the way down. Inside of 10 seconds. Bird low. You can't double yet. Now you can quickly. Bird's jumper, good. 3.6 seconds left.
Oh yeah, Larry Bird is definitely one of the most clutchest players in NBA history for sure. Like, without a doubt, for sure, most definitely. Like, that's not even a question. Oh yeah, Larry Bird's that guy though. He's that guy.
Larry Bird gives the Boston Celtics a 2-point lead.
Everybody in this building had to know it was going to. Michael came over to help out. Celtics lead with 3.6 seconds here, 102 to 100.
A game-winning shot while being double-teamed by both Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, two of the best defenders of all time. Somehow the word clutch doesn't even begin to describe the greatness of Larry Bird when the game was on the line. But maybe a quote from NBA Hall of Fame coach, executive, and former player Pat Riley can explain. In an interview, when comparing Larry Bird and Michael Jordan's clutchness, Pat Riley said this iconic quote, "If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save a game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd take Larry Bird."
I ain't gonna lie, that quote is tough. That quote is cold. That's cold though. That quote's sweet. That was nice. That was nice. I like that. That was nice. Let's see. If I need to give the ball to somebody to end the game, he said he would give it to MJ. But if his life on the line, he'll give it to Larry Bird. That's tough. That's tough. Ooh, that's a good question. And for both scenarios, I'm taking MJ, but I'm not mad at that. Larry Bird was that guy. He was definitely one of the clutchest player ever. I don't think he the clutchest, but he's definitely top 5 in my opinion. Larry Bird in the clutch was different. He a different breed.
As Larry Bird was on his last legs and Michael Jordan was starting his dynasty in 1991, Larry Bird mustered up enough strength to battle MJ again in one of the last great duels between the two.
Gamble came up with the steal.
Here's Bird. Yes. He was met on a switch by Jordan, and there 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team. Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird.
This battle between two all-time greats.
They were hooping. They were hooping.
This battle between two all-time greats came down to the wire. In overtime, it was a tie game with 0.4 seconds on the clock, and the Chicago Bulls had the ball.
Pippen now will look to throw.
Oh yeah, give it to MJ. Get out the way.
0.4 of a second. And here it is, Jordan with the play. Yes! But it's waved off. Will not count. Mike Mathis said no. Did not beat the clock.
Ooh, he almost had it. After Jordan's possible game winner was waved off, Larry Bird, on 4 straight possessions in double overtime, did this.
Jordan.
It's great to hear all these coaches talk about they're really concerned as Bird hits a little fadeaway. They're really concerned about the minutes building up. They want to be fresh going into the playoffs until
overtime number 2. Bird. Yes.
See, it was bad. Why y'all doing Horace like that? Why the Bulls made Horace guard him? That ain't right. That ain't right. See, that was the problem right there. That's why they lost. You can't put Horace Grant on Larry Bird. You can't do that. They set Horace Grant up.
Larry Bird heating it out to go.
See,
in
look
the
at
second
that.
overtime. Bird with the fake through the foul and hits. 45 to go in the second overtime. Bird fires. Yes.
That ain't right. The Bulls set up Horace Grant. And they set that boy up. I'm sorry. Double overtime is only 5 minutes. As soon as Larry Bird hit 2 shots on Horace Grant, you gotta switch. You gotta switch after that. Horace Grant was nice, but come on, him on Larry Bird, that was a mismatch for sure. You can't do that. They set up Horace. You can't do that.
The crowd couldn't help but chant the name of the greatest player of all time.
Shook his head and said, "This guy's."
He said they were chanting the greatest player of all time. LeBron played in the 90s. But no, I don't play. I knew he was talking about Larry Bird, though. LeBron the GOAT, though. But y'all ain't ready for that conversation, though. That's a conversation for another video. Y'all ain't ready for that.
Too much.
And the chant of Larry. Lee Brown beat John Paxson off the pitch. The second overtime, and that will do it. The Boston Celtics in double overtime have defeated the Chicago Bulls 135 to 132 in a wild one.
The Celtics held on to win that game, but that year, Michael Jordan won his first championship versus Magic Johnson in the finals, and his dynasty had officially begun.
Larry and I were talking, and Michael walks in, and he says, "There's a new sheriff in town." And we both hit each other like, well, he's not lying.
Larry Bird retired after that next season.
MJ got that ring and said, "I'm here. I'm him now. It's my time now, okay? It's my time. Magic and Larry, y'all had y'all time. It's over now. I'm here. I'm here. It's my time."
Larry Bird retired after that next season, but not before he took the court with Michael Jordan one last time. Except this time, it would be on the same team in what many would call the greatest team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team.
And rebounded by Jordan.
Perez may have realized that may be his best opportunity to get an open look in transition.
Magic with the pass that misfired. Jordan with the behind-the-back save. Here's Bird. Yes!
That was cold. That was cold. That was sweet. That was sweet. That pass was cold. MJ different. That was nice. That was sweet. That was sweet. No, but for real though, that Dream Team, that was by far the best Olympic team ever. Did that team have like 11 Hall of Famers on there? That was crazy. That's crazy. That is the greatest Olympic team ever though. I forgot which team it was. I don't know if it was 2008 or 2012. It was something crazy though. The USA Olympic team was LeBron, Kobe, KD, Melo, D Wade. Was Westbrook on there? It was crazy. Now, one of those teams, now they might give the 1992 Dream Team a run for their money. I ain't gonna lie. But D-Wade, I think, D-Wade was the sixth man. What was it, like Chris Paul, Kobe, KD? I forgot the team. If somebody know which team I'm talking about, it was the 2008 or 2012 team. Put it in the comments below. It was something like that. But I think that one of them teams could give the 1992 team a run for their money, for sure.
Just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot after the great save by Michael Jordan.
Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. Brought a lot of sad memories to me, but I enjoyed you tremendously. I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a very wonderful career, even though you probably ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics. And I'll see you somewhere along the road, somewhere playing golf.
That was a very good video. That was very nice. I like that video, especially it pretty much talk about the rivalry between Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. Well, I don't know if it was a rivalry because Larry Bird pretty much beat him every single time, but but no, that was nice. I like that. Now Larry Bird, he did get the best of MJ, but I believe if you put MJ like 90s teams against Larry Bird 1980s team, it'll be a much better matchup. And I think MJ, like teams in the 90s, I think I'll give them the edge. But yeah, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, early his career, yeah, he had no chance. Michael Jordan had no chance. Celtics were in their prime, experience, championship level team. Like everything was on their side. Larry Bird is a great player, though. Larry Bird was a great player, definitely. In my opinion, he's the 6th greatest player of all time. The highest I'll put him at is 5 because I have Magic at 5. And in my opinion, they could be switched either way. I have Magic 5, but yeah, Larry Bird at 6. The highest I'll put Larry Bird is 5 though. But I'm not putting him over LeBron, MJ, Kareem, and Kobe. That's my opinion. So drop down in the comments below y'all thoughts about this video, y'all thoughts about Larry Bird. Who you think is better between Larry Bird and Michael Jordan? Do you think Larry Bird the GOAT? Do you think Michael Jordan the GOAT? Do you think someone else the GOAT? Just drop down in the comments below y'all thoughts. I'm curious to see what y'all think, and I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.